lot of parents wonder, I'd like to get my child into the honors courses. How do we do that? I look at their EOGs, your child's EOGs from over the summer, and I put the 95th percentile or above in the honors group. For the math, it's based on the CMS rubric. There's a CMS rubric in which their fifth grade teacher will identify what their EOG scores were and then fill out the rubric and recommend or not recommend for honors math. Based on that criteria, the rubric, and then their EOG scores on the reading, I then schedule the child into the appropriate classes for 6th grade. Okay? Now, it always varies depending on how many sections we need. Sometimes we have a lot of sections. Sometimes we only have 1 or 2 sections of those honors courses. And just a note here too, there are no remedial courses that are offered here at Piedmont since we are 100% full magnet. No remedial courses. Now we have our core courses, but then we also have what we call our encore courses. Some schools may call them your elective courses. We call them the encore because you have your core and your encore. Your encore courses are the courses that you have a choice. Okay, so in middle school, as I said, you have some choice in the courses you want to take. So if you have a significant interest in the arts or in computers and things like that, you can choose to take those courses. So if you're a student here tonight and you have an interest in art, raise your hand if you're interested in doing art. Okay, well what you can do is you can identify art as a course you'd like to take, and we'll get you in an art class, okay? The same holds true for computers, drama, and another world language, as I said earlier, if you wanted to take another world language, okay? Now, say you don't necessarily want to take those, but you're really interested in taking band or orchestra, okay? We do offer band. We have an excellent band program here, but we also have an excellent orchestra program here. And Ms. Weingartner, our excellent, world-renowned orchestra teacher, is over here in the corner, okay? She can answer any questions you may have about orchestra later. But if your child would like to take band or orchestra, they can do that as well. Now, if you take band or orchestra, it does take up your schedule because it's an A-day or B-day class all year. Therefore, they won't have space in their schedule for some of those other elective classes. Okay. Okay. Currently here at Piedmont, we have something called Block 6 block, where we do what's called academic enrichment. Okay, and because Piedmont is kind of a unique place, we use this 6 block time at the end of the day to do some really neat things. For instance, on Mondays, today we did Club Day, where every student signed up for a different club, and they could go to that unique club. So for instance, Mr. Miller has chess club. Miss Barone does a ballroom dancing club, okay? We have all sorts of unique clubs. We've had a sewing club in the past. We have a sports documentaries club. We have all sorts of unique things based on the interests of our students. And the interests of our students are very, very diverse, just like our student body. So 6 block time, we do that, but we also do other things. 6th grade is currently about to finish up what they call the Love of Learning project, where students were able to choose a topic, learn as much as they possibly can about it, and then they're getting ready to present their projects here in a couple weeks. And that project is all intended to help students learn how to be self-directed learners on their own, and then present that information and articulate it to their peers and to their parents. But then also we use that time to do other things based on the needs of our students. And a lot of students are seeking greater academic enrichment in the subjects that they're already learning about. And so we use that 6 block time to help enrich students' knowledge of the content already here at Piedmont. So it's really a neat program that we have as a part of our overall curriculum, but also as part of our IB curriculum here. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Barone now.
Thank you, Mr. Tomo. Just a couple quick things to recap on in regards to schedules. Don't panic about the honors versus not honors thing right now, because we talked about this a little bit in open house too. It's very fluid. We're going to make the best decisions we can with the information we have for when you come to us, but it will change. You may get to the end of first quarter and we recognize that the placement isn't proper and we'll change it. You may go a whole year and then we'll change it at the end of 6th grade year. And it's not something that we would come and change without you knowing either. It would be a conversation, a dialogue with the family, with the teachers, looking at the data that we have to make those decisions. And like Mr. Torfelt said, it's very flexible too. It's not we have to have 3 honors courses and that's it. Whatever we get, whatever our students are presenting, that's what we will create. We've had several situations where we may have a group that is honors math but not honors reading. We may have a group that's honors reading, honors math, any combination of the above. We will base our schedule on what our students are capable of and then move it from there. The other thing, like he said about Club Day, is again, that won't come until the fall, but that is a really great opportunity. And that's a place we tell our kids to try something new. You can't always fit everything into your schedule. We don't want you to fit everything into your schedule. We don't want to overload you. But during that 6 block time, that's the time to try something totally out of the box that you might not have tried before, like ballroom dancing. Or somebody came today and a student asked if he could start a tennis club, because we don't have tennis as a sport. So let's do it. All right, Ms. Delaney, talk to the parents and families about how we transition them.
You guys are worried, you newcomers, aren't you? Yeah? No? A little bit. Don't worry. We make sure that the children are well taken care of. We take after the first few weeks to get them acclimated to Piedmont and the 6th grade. And we take about 3 hours of your time in August to make sure that the parents are acclimated as well. So you're going to want to look on our website anytime after July 1st for Parent 101. That's normally the 2nd Thursday in August. We cannot give you that date until the end of the year once the other schedules come out. But it's pretty much the 2nd Thursday in August, and you'll come in for a 3-hour orientation as parents. And that's where we'll go through step by step what we do and how we do it. Because we want to make sure you're comfortable before your child comes into the 6th or 7th grade. We have 7th graders here as well. Then we're going to have open house, which is prior to school starting, when you'll be able to come in again and see the school, and the children will be able to do that with you. And then the first few weeks of school is where we acclimate our children. We walk them up and down the stairs. You don't just come in, hey, you're in 6th grade, and we send them to the wolves. We don't do that. I'm trying to get a laugh. Are you guys tired tonight? I love it. So we're going to take care of our we call them our babies. We're going to walk them everywhere. We're going to take them where they need to be. We're going to show them how to use the planner. We're going to make sure that they know the homework is on the board every day, every class. So when you get home and say, well, we didn't have any homework, and you as parents can say, yeah, you did, because they told us at Parent 101 we have homework every night. And the child will say, oh, yeah, we had homework, and here it is in my planner. We're going to go through all of that for you and the children during that meeting in August and the first few weeks of school. Something that is very important for you to know as parents, how many of you are not familiar with Power School or Parent Portal? Okay, not bad. Just a few. There's a system in place where you as a parent can go in and look at your child's grades daily. So in the fall, you'll get those codes from us. And students, you guys know about that, right? You can go in and get your grades. And that, if they don't know how to do that, we'll make sure they have that as well. Because you're going to find that the grades change daily, so it's going to be important that you're looking at that and making sure that you're seeing how your child's doing, and the children should be self-aware. Progress reports are not normally sent out. They're sent out if your child has a grade of D or F. So it's going to be important that you as parents go in and check that Power School Parent Portal as often as you can. I do mine every week. Some parents are on there every single day. The children, they know how to get on there. A lot of them are on there every day as well.
All right, thank you, Miss Delaney. I think she's lost her group because she doesn't have her silver sparkle shoes on. We have matching shoes that we wear to these events. What we want to do now is we're going to do some questions. We do questions a little differently because this is a large crowd. We're going to run through some frequently asked questions. Then we're actually going to walk you through the card and how to fill it out. And then you'll actually have an opportunity to talk to one of us one-on-one and get your question answered that way if we don't get to it through our presentation. So a couple of the frequently asked ones, important things to note. First off are our school hours. Please make sure you know we are 9:15 to 4:15. The building opens at 8:45, so our buses, if you're a busser, they will come out and park in the front and at 8:45 unload. At that point in time, students can either go to first block, which is home base, or they can go to breakfast. We do have free breakfast here in the building, and all Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools do. If you're a car rider, we do ask no earlier than 8:45, so sometime between 8:45, but be ready by 9:15, because we will start instruction at 9:15. Some mornings you'll notice, though, as we get into the groove of things, there's a lot going on in the morning. So 8:45 is when those front doors are unlocked unless you have a prior arrangement. So you'll start to see we'll have some clubs going on. We may have some extended day tutoring going on. So that's the exception to the 8:45. In the afternoon, you need to be picked up by 4:30. So we'll load our buses. We generally get our buses out of here pretty quick, about 4:20, 4:25. But car riders by 4:30 need to be picked up. There's actually not a lot that goes on tutoring-wise after school. There'll be some sporting events, but that's really more for 7th and 8th graders. So 9:15 to 4:15. If those hours don't work for your schedule, we do have the fee-based after-school and before-school program. So you can go right online to Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools, the after-school website, and take a look at the pricing. But the hours here for Piedmont are 6:45 in the morning and then 6 o'clock at night. So you can actually drop off between 6:45 and 8:45 as a part of that program. And same thing in the afternoon. At 4:15, they would be dismissed to the program, and they can stay until 6 o'clock p.m. You can actually do any combination of the two, so you don't have to do both before and after. You can do both. You can do one or the other. It's up to what you need for your schedule. You heard me mention a second ago about sports. Those are only for 7th or 8th graders. That's a Charlotte-Mecklenburg rule, so just keep that in mind. We do want to always remind our 6th graders, though, that what you do in 6th grade will determine whether or not you're going to make that team in 7th and 8th grade. Because those coaches are going to be looking at what were their grades in 6th grade, what was their attendance like in 6th grade, what was their behavior like in 6th grade, to make those team rosters. So 6th grade is very important for that. Ms. Delaney mentioned the schedule is not going to come out until the first day of school. Your child will actually get a phone call the week before, though. We will have open house. All of our students will be invited to walk the building to actually know where they're going to go on day number 1 of school. That person, where they're reporting to, will call them, introduce themselves, and then on day 1, that's where they'll go. That's where they'll get their schedule. Bus information, that comes out about a week before school starts. So we are shuttle stops or 5-mile radius neighborhood schools. And what that means is, first of all, to get any kind of bus, you have to be gray or violet. Okay, if you're in green or blue, unfortunately, you're not going to qualify for a bus. You have to be a car rider. But if you're green or if you're gray or violet, and you live within a 5-mile radius of the school, you can get a neighborhood bus. If you're gray or violet outside of that 5-mile radius, you get what's called a shuttle stop. Shuttle buses, they meet at other schools in Charlotte, and then they drive directly to Piedmont. Okay? There's no guarantee what those stops will be. They do change them over the summer from time to time, but you can go online right now and kind of get an idea of where some of them are. But again, that information will come in a mailing about a week before school starts. For car riders, you heard me mention that they do need to be dropped off no earlier than 8:45, picked up no later than 4:30, and there's a red awning outside of the building, which is where our car rider lot is. You'll see that as you drive away. You'll see that red awning right on 10th Street, and you can't miss the traffic, unfortunately. Let's see. As far as dress code, it is posted. It's a pretty standard dress code. We are not a uniform school, but we do have some minimal expectations. We want our students here to learn. So if you're out and you're buying your summer clothes and your new wardrobe for 6th grade, take a look at that first so you don't get into any situations of purchasing something that's not appropriate. For PE, we will have some students that get PE into their schedule that very first quarter. Don't worry about dressing out the first day. Coach Ashley, our teacher, doesn't expect day 1 that will happen. He'll go through his expectations